expect to see some verticality here, right? Primary sites generally being well, I mean, look, the standard for a long time was cash and CCTV. Not seeing a lot of teams start out there anymore. It's more of that gym bedroom start, more of that basement church arsenal push. Hoping to see some of that tertiary play, right? The bar stage with a potential for a gym bedroom hold. I'm looking to potentially see that Ram being brought out and utilized here. New season, who it is?
I was just gonna say the Ram, as well as I wonder if Pingu is gonna be smart, because if you think about it, they are starting Clubhouse on attack. So, what if they ban out the castle? I know this is a long shot, and they played the castle very well yesterday, but what if Pingu plays out the castle and they push very aggressive against this team, Night Loki?
I like it. Castle, pretty standard operator for that gym bedroom hold, allowing you to get that extension deep into construction, deep into cash, and if you choose, deep even into CCTV. We've seen full extensions taken all the way to catwalk. I'd agree with you. It'd be good to see a Nizami band. She's so pivotal for holding that catwalk area, making it so difficult. But a fun band that we've been seeing coming out quite a bit, especially more in the LATAM side of things, is the Monty band, who is really kind of becoming one of the standards to make those catwalk pushes. I don't know. What do you think?
Absolutely. The catwalk is one of the most detrimental things Monty can push, if we're going to be honest. After that, you can still push construction very hard. You can push up those red stairs. You can avert people's attention in very different ways. So I feel like the Monty band would also be very good against a team like maybe Night Loki, because, maybe they have Monty strats that go against them. Because I remember yesterday vaguely that Pingu struggled a little bit against the Monty, and this could possibly be their downfall today. So they want to kind of think of every option to keep them loose and limber, and thinking of new ways to improve themselves as well.
Yep, I like the call. Some standard bands that we see being brought out on Clubhouse. Of course, the Ying gets banned out quite a bit for that execute. We've seen the Monty bands on the defense. We talk about them. The 5 golden ringers. There's 5 of them that are just absolutely incredibly overpowered. And on Clubhouse is no different.
Hello?
Fenrir being the newest defensive operator. He's got 5 gadgets, right? He can utilize 3 at the same time, and if he's left alive late in the round, able to change up where those Fenrir gadgets are being utilized, right? He can open up, if he's got 5 on the board, he can take down one from the north side of the map and change it to the south side of the map, depending on where that push is coming. We see him banned out a ton. Great for holding that church arsenal area, right? You're dropping Moto Hatch, getting hit by the Fenrir. You're coming down blue, you're getting hit by the Fenrir. The dirt push, hit by a Fenrir, and that's just 3. Still 2 more to be utilized. We saw a really effective use of Solus just across the board in the leagues that we casted yesterday, both in the NA and in the EU. She is really becoming like one of probably the highest band operators, and that is like trying to take the place of Azami, the architect, Azame, who currently across the board, both ranked and competitive siege, sits at almost a 70% ban rating. We now have 3 operators that are getting close to sitting in that same area.
That's a little bit intense. I'm going to be honest with you. A 70% ban rate. I feel like everyone's just a little bit scared to take these, gunfights. It's these new angles that you're not ready for. And I feel like maybe if you loosen up on the zombie ban, you open yourself to new things, it takes away from certain operators. You can ban that Solus out. You can take the intel off. You ban the bandit. You can take stuff off the wall or the Cade, and case like now, since we're playing Clubhouse, I feel like it depends on the scenario, but I feel like people are getting so struck with the one person.
Yeah, I think you're absolutely right. And the problem is, if you ban 2 of them, you still leave 3 on the board. Say you get rid of the Solus, say you get rid of the Fenrir, you're still left with the Valkyrie, shoot, right? All that intel, the C4s from below, and the other is Azami or Mira, and Mira has proved to be so pivotal. I mean, she had a time period where she was the permaban, right? We didn't quite see her at all, but now with the release of these new operators, we're getting to see kind of this battle between contemporary and traditional siege. And Mira, she fits into that traditional siege role. And Clubhouse, I don't know, baby. This is definitely a map to see her. Huge holds on that church arsenal holds. We've even seen some really brazen and bold mirror strats where they put it straight onto the breach, open it up, and use it as a I dare ya peek hole. Could be pretty huge. As far as attackers go, it's fairly standard. We definitely see the Ying taken off the board. We've seen the Flores taken off the board. Flores being so huge for all of that extension util taken, especially when you're making that push from cache and CCTV in. We also see the Dokkaebi and the Jackal Band out quite a bit. So I guess it's really going to depend on what type of pace you're trying to set, or that Night Loki's trying to set on the defense here. So they're going to be taking that first. So, and I think that really is win conditions here, right? This is a best of one. There is really no chance for you to suss out how this team is playing unless two options. You've either played them before and got a little bit of intel of what they're going to be trying, or you got to do some VOD review. Other than that, it's going to be who's able to adapt on the fly. And I think the winner of this game is going to be the one who determines how the pace is of the round.
See, now what the thing is, we got to keep in mind is yesterday PINGU played an excellent comeback game. They were down 2 rounds. They shot back up and made it back to a tie against who they played yesterday. Then they were down 2 rounds again, and then they shot back up and went into overtime. So I feel like PINGU, whoever the IGL is, whoever's making these calls, is excelling them to a point to where, they get their mind thinking. They make them swivel and change and push themselves to a different perspective.
Yeah, I like the call. Yeah, there was definitely some huge IGL plays that came out yesterday during that game. If you want some reference, go check it out. It was an absolute slamma jamma. We were happy to be a part of that one, of course. So, folks, we're just waiting on one more to get in the lobby. So, get to do a little bit of waffling around, which is kind of one of my favorite parts about live Siege. So, we've got the new operator that is out. It's Operation Heavy Metal. Really would love to see this Ram being brought out, especially if we get that terse site play. Here's where we've seen so far in the competitive scene for the Ram on Clubhouse. Vital for the hallway push and for that kitchen verticality push. One drone can open up just about 3/4 of that hallway, and with 2 other drones, you can hit one from the kitchen coming in from freezer and one from the window, and you have then effectively opened up all of that verticality. Now, I'm not saying that and if you're new to Siege or you're new to like this season, Z, tell me exactly what Ram does here.
So Ram is basically like an overpowered sledge or buck, you want to say. It's like a drone that literally munches away the floor. So my team just started recently calling it the Muncher, because when you throw the device and you activate it, it literally tears apart the floor like a hungry hippo. And all that verticality is now opened. You're now pacing around inside trying to figure out where to rotate to so you don't get stuck. And it changes the fundamental playing of Siege, and I think we're gonna possibly see it here just a little bit today in a Clubhouse.
Yeah, so we're talking several different metas here with this Operation Heavy Metal, right? We've been talking about the shotgun metal as the spread fire got that huge buff, and we're starting to see that little bit more. Thorn has been brought out with the shotgun. We've been seeing the bandit shotgun being utilized, the Jaeger shotgun being utilized. I mean, hello, let's go.
I seen a Legion shoddy
The
almost
triple.
clutch up the triple. It was insane. The most craziest thing that almost ever happened.
Yeah, and didn't you call that the round before, saying I'd love to see that,
Caster Curse the
Legion shotty?
absolute breaks off of it, and as I say that, we're actually going to get into the start of this round of Clubhouse with the operator bans.
Yay, oh, let's go. It's the Siege double shot bringing you the quals in the Revival League. We're sitting on game 3 here, and it is Clubhouse. Get ready, folks. It's a best of one banger, and it's coming right at you. Let's take a look at this first ban. Is it the Doki?
And it's actually the Maverick coming
the
out by Night LOKI.
Maverick. Okay, you know what? I'm gonna be honest with you. I wasn't really ready for it, but I love the call, especially with the repel killing on those main breach, the push into dirt. Yeah,
Exactly, and you
good.
can have so many angles on it from CC if they open a certain way, you know, you can hang on that repel, especially if they got claymores on the garage. And actually, second hard breach coming out, all that leaves is Ace and Therm, the Hibby coming out from PINGU.
If they get the Cade off the board would be a huge call. It's tough. Hatch Queen gone. That is both Maverick and Habana. Huge for those Church Arsenal pushes. And there he is.
And
Yeah,
the Cade coming
Cade
out
to
from
follow.
PINGU.
I had to know that was coming. Pingu on attack.
Wow.
Doesn't want to have to deal with that potential Cade tricking down in Church and Arsenal. What do you think? Solus on the last man, Fenrir on the last man.
You know, I feel like it also shuts down a lot of play Gym Bedroom and also CC because you now have to resort to a bandit trick and the Solus actually coming out by Night LOKI, which is a good call. But as I was saying, coming out, you have to think about it in a different way because now you're playing the bandit, you're playing the mute, and you're playing underneath because you have to pay attention to these people who are going to try and frag you and stop the bandit tricking.
Yep. So as we get into it, folks, it's gonna be a Gym Bedroom. We had to get our workout on, and hoping that Night LOKI doesn't pull a hammy here. First setup's going to be up top, primary site. We're not going to see the castle being brought out here, which, I mean, okay. I think I love castle for the extension. I understand when he isn't brought, we're going to instead utilize the architect, Azami. She's got those Kiva barriers. Can't be shot through. Really changes up the whole game and how the layouts of the map. Every cheeky-peeky angle you thought you knew, every pre-fire that you take is changed when the architect's on the board. Little breach denial with the Bandito. Told you we might be seeing him. He's got the C4 in hand. He's ready to trick as only Bandit can. And Frost, ever present, hasn't had, as far as I know, the being able to get up out of a rework. At least I haven't figured out how to do it yet.
Yeah, I don't know if they've updated it, or I think we're just a little bit behind on that part, but we haven't seen it yet. I haven't seen it personally, so I'm wondering how it's been working with other players. But we're getting on into this round, and you know, we see both the Thermite and the Ace being brought out because Habana is no more, and the classic Thatcher coming out because Thatcher is on the board, so might as well bring him. You know what I mean?
Yeah, he's going to be huge for quite a few of those ops. He can take care of, he can burn that utility of Wamai. He can stop those Banshee charges coming in, and obviously for the breach denial. We're going to be doing the split push, I believe, a little bit from Cash, a little bit from, oh no! Corpincho taken off the board, it's body bounce tipped in.
And 2 minutes on the timer still. It's a 5v4. The sledge gone. Not being able to make as much soft breach as before, but he's still having the soft breach charges on the Thatcher. And does he see him? Oh, and the headshot's coming out. That is the Azami gone, making it a 4v4 with a minute 50 left into the round. Pulling back now, barricading things up, deciding to hold these longer angles and play throughout the time.
1 second. Mr. Z, go ahead. Take over for me.
As we got a minute 35 left on the clock, now slowing their pace, trying to get some pre-firings out, but doesn't seem to be landing any. We're going to go ahead and play it slow now, trying to get this drone-ish, this intel, and see if we can push and take control of construction as PINGU moves slightly forward, trying to get these little shots out. Ping's coming out, a run out, and the bandit picks it up. Muzi now out of the Thermite. Down to a minute left in a 4v3. Night LOKI looking to be in a good position, and PINGU getting another extracted from them. Down to a 4v2. And with a minute left on the clock, Night LOKI seem to be sitting well, and the Cade on the wall. Just kidding, not the Cade. The bandit on the wall doing a little bit of damage onto the Ayana. Down to 50 seconds left on the clock, trying to just see if they can get these angles, and sees the person in construction. It doesn't seem like the Frost can finish off the Ayana. But with 40 seconds left on the clock, they're seeing if they can go for a rotate and plant within the site. Can they make it happen? And the Iona picking up, making it 4v1 with 30 seconds remaining. Thatcher gets in, gets one. Can he pick up 3 more? Picks up a second with 25 seconds left on the clock. Decides to hop through bathroom, picks up the diffuser. Does he hear the person on his left? The pre-fire's coming out. Can he pick up this person, Logi door? And the person rotates bathroom, and it's Silo or Leo, sorry. Picking up the last frag, making it a win for Night Loki on defensive round number 1. Wow, amazing round. Honestly, that was a good hold by them. I think PINGU got a little bit lost in themselves. They took a little bit too much time. If they would have dedicated, I feel like, somebody to the windows first thing off, they possibly could have stopped the rotates, possibly stopped the run out. But it happened to them, and Night Loki pick up the round, letting them play into their hands and playing the time.
And defuse as many bombs as they can.
Now, as we get into round number 2, we have
Let's see if that did it. A little bit of technical difficulties on the part of Whiskey Glitter. Hey, it wouldn't be live siege if we didn't have just a few of those.
So, pulling out the Doka beat, I like it by PINGU. Gonna slow themselves down, see if they can get a pick, you know, get at this intel. Also, the Ying coming out by Muzi himself.
I love the call. We talk about the 5 golden ringers on defense. They only banned 1 of them. We've got 4 of them sitting on the board at the moment. It's the Architect. It's the intel of the Valkyrie. It is the absolutely devastating puzzle player, chess player of the Fenrir, and Mira, my permaban, ready to go. Jeez. Oh, and look down at what we're bringing out for the attacker side of it. It's Grim. He's got a little bit of some work done, eh?
Yes, he did get a rework. His rework is now he can finally bounce things off a wall, the floor, or the ceiling, so to be able to make the Grim move a little bit farther. And you know, that's kind of what we wanted as players from the beginning, and we didn't get the chance to get it, but now we do. And Valkyrie might be able to pick one off here and actually gets the buck, making it 5v4, not even a minute into this round. And another trade. Not another trade, one trade by Red Cannon onto the Valkyrie, and that is Intel Woman gone. And with that, he has left the game, doesn't want to play anymore. And Cyan getting a trade, making it a 4v3 with just a minute hitting into this round. The Grim gone. We were just talking about that rework, and now he's not going to be able to use it. Dokubi, first call coming out, getting some shots, doesn't seem to be landing in a nitro. From Night Loki, making it 4v2.
Rough. Night Loki, Mira, that man had a family. Why you do him like that? It's now into a 4v2 here. Hopefully we're going to be able to get that player back in the lobby. No rehost happening, but it is now all on the shoulders of the Red Cannon and Muzi. The Ying and the Nomad. It's a great ops to have several flashes on the board as Candelas and Flashbangs ready to go for this final execute and push in. Unfortunately, defense has got the location. They know he's pushing in. Set up on the angle below, and is going to find that one fairly easy. Shot him right in the toesies, baby, and now it's all on the shoulders of Nomad. He's pushing down these central stairs, West Main. It's a tough place to be. Oh, Impact's also trying to open up that verticality. That's the thing. It plays in both ways, right? You open it from the bottom, you can be shot from the bottom as well. 59 seconds left, Z.
I feel like the round is kind of concluded at this point. It's down to a 1v3. Red Cannon doesn't seem to have any solution on what to do, and I feel like they're just going to kind of go for the slow rotate, maybe talk about it. Has to go through a barricade anyways, so he's going to waste some ammo. So, I feel like PINGU is starting out like they did yesterday. They're taking it a little bit too aggressive, not taking the slow pace. And, Red Cannon ripping apart a third. If he picks up 2 more, he gets the ace. But will it happen? And actually, with that, Cyan is going to get the headshot, making Night Loki win round number 2.
Yep, it's all coming up defense here. Oh,
and he has returned.
That's some siege timing, baby. Made it back in time. No rehost necessary. Beautiful.
So, as I was saying, I feel like PINGU is starting out how they did yesterday. They're getting too aggressive. They're not really taking the time to slow themselves down. Think about their mythology and what they're going to do. And I feel like if they do that, they can get on the rhythm. And, we talked about them, the Monty being pulled out by PINGU themselves.
I love it. The walking
Defenders,
drone,
protect
the
your bombs.
mountain
Defuse by
himself.
attackers.
Huge pick by the attackers, especially for this bar game setup, right? Would love to see him do is that push in from strip or that push in through that main lobby double door. I love the Monty call here. I hope they keep him on the board. On the defense, however, it's going to be slow down city. We're going to see Blazy picking up the castle. Now, is he going to utilize it below, or are we going to see him put it up in like a similar gym bedroom hold? Oh, a little bit on that main. That's a good stop for that Monty, which gets taken off the board.
And actually, now that I'm looking at it, I kind of love that castle right there. It covers so much of the push. They can see it all the way from inside garage into the bar. So, it cuts off a really good angle. And Cyan possibly going to be staying over in strip where they're not going to see him. Blazy also giving him a castle so he can hide out near that way. And gonna go for a top-down take here as we see Red Cannon picking the Ash, the aggro 360, moving his way into CC and actually droning by moving.
Yep. I love the echo call here, especially bringing out the AR instead of the shotgun. Yes, I'm a big fan of the shotgun. Yes, I love the new meta, but I love a really aggressive echo. And actually Senval just was talking about it as well. Senval saying that even with the new shotgun meta. Oh, that's tough. Pulled out the shot. He wasn't able to do anything with it. Unfortunately, it's body bounce tipped in favor of PINGU Esports here.
Wow, that was an amazing shot by Red Canyon. Concussioned and still got the shot out. And now Intensia gonna take a little bit of damage on the Wamai. And as I say that, they're also opening up gym wall. Let's see if they can hold this. Know that they're getting droned out from Logi. Know they're coming from CC. Down to being pushed in the corners with 1:40 remaining on the clock. Red Cannon still have 5. Maybe they heard me, taking it a little bit slower, trying to debate their push, really see what they can pick out and what they can do. And the pre-fire is coming out, missing the shots, and a nice show ripping out and doesn't seem to land. Red Cannon seeming to shoot it. He takes those aim lab practices. And pre-fire is coming out also, doesn't seem to get anything.
Yep, Warden going to rotate back down to side, take the scenic route potentially. They have done a great job at stalling out this attacking team up top, as they had 2 roamers that were sitting, or 3 roamers. It was the castle and the Warden. Great. This
Oh, I think we're having a little bit of tech issues again. We're actually down to a 4v3 as one is down and actually making it confirmed. 40 seconds on the clock left. Can PINGU make it happen? They have the man up. They have the health. It seems like they went out exchange. Pre-fire is coming out from Blazy. Doesn't seem to land any right now. Trying to go for these long angles. Smokes coming out. EMP's coming out. The pre-fires. Nothing seems to be able to landing. Warden now standing in the way, gets the thermite, that's the diffuser down, and actually getting traded out himself, making it a 3v2. PINGU can still win this, picking up the diffuser of Red Cannon on the 2 health himself. The shots coming out, a trade coming out, making it 1v3, a 1v2. Cyanix with the echo, and doesn't seem to get the echo drone on the diffuser, so diffuser is down and planted. The shots coming out, seeing if he could stun one and get the shots. But he seems to be going for the push. One rotating now up top. Does he be able to get this pick? And will he know the person on hatch? Hopping up onto the bar, trying to cause a little bit of distraction for this person. And the shots by Red Cannon with 2 health, winning the round. PINGU, good job winning their first attacker round. Wow, good job by them. And we see the black ice on Mr. Red Cannon himself, saying, "I am a staple of the black ice community." Now, as we head on to round number 4, we see the Frost coming out, going back onto that gym bedroom. Going back down to that gym bedroom tank. We're going to pull out the Azami as, staple of the architect herself, one of the 5 main branded Siege players. We are also going to pull out the Frost, the Wamai, the Malusi. I like to see, slow them down, give Night Loki a chance to determine what they're going to do. And the Bandit as well for the wall, because Cade is gone. And as we look on the Pingu side, we have the Thermite, the Ace, the Thatcher, the Ash, and the Ayana. Going for a little bit of intel, going for a little bit of destruction as well, both hard breachers that are available since the Maverick and the Hibana are gone. We're going to see if Night Loki can make it happen for themselves, give themselves a third round up on Pingu. Now, Pingu winning the last round might be able to get their grip this time and exchange the wins they need to start, making a comeback. And I feel like they can do it themselves. I feel like they're going to be able to do it. But they just need to take it slow and give themselves some strides. And the pre-fire is instantly coming out, opening up that lobby door. 2 downstairs. Might be able to get an early pick here, but it doesn't seem like it's going to happen as one of them, Cyanix, rotates below. And they pop the hatch into stock. I think that is a good call, quick rotates for this player in stock, gonna hold down. Even though it is a gym site and walls instantly being opened up already. Going for the bandit trick onto the CC walls, and he gets the bandit trick onto the CC walls. Great bandit tricking by him. Thermite didn't expect him to be against there like that. But the gym wall is open itself. So let's see if they can get it. This time, I'm going to reopen the wall. Bandit seem to be not contesting, but holding from Cash itself against 2 players. One's Raptors, one is outside the breach. Now, getting some intel, trying to see if we can see any players below, and gets the call onto the Bandit. And this Raptors person and this person on breach push him. Knows he's out the window, just jumps in, peeks, and he picks up the pick on Ayana and instantly traded out. Good exchange by Pingu, now making it 1:30 left on the clock, and let's see if they can get this push down. Pre-fire is coming out from JRD onto the window, and the run out and being able to pick one, making it a 4v3 and an instant trade in 1 minute 25 left on the clock. 3v3, can they make it happen? Trying to get this cam off the wall and actually going to be able to do it as the ace, getting also these Wamai discs and all this intel off the game. Now just trying to hold these last minute angles, seeing if they could pick off one more on the defensive side. Do they know this person is Highway? I think the Izami does. And the Izami goes for the run out, doesn't seem to be able to pick up a second one. Now going to leave a 2v3 with 55 seconds left on the clock. More pre-fires coming out from this Thatcher. Doesn't seem to be landing any right now, though, after picking up the frag. The wide swing, and the Frost being able to pick one, making it a 2v1, and an instant trade making it a 2v1. Wow, insane. We have 35 seconds left on the clock, and the diffuser seems to be going down, and he doesn't seem to be able to pick it up, even though he was just planting the bomb. Wow. PINGU Esports picking up round number 2 for their attacking side. A good job by them. I said they needed to slow down. That's kind of what they did. They slowed down. They won the round. Good for them. Now it is on a 2-2 split, making Night Loki go back down to Church and Arsenal. And they are bringing out the Fenrir, the Izami, the Valk, and the Mira. Wow, 4 of the 5 crazy people, except Solus. This is going to be intense. And Pingu themselves pulling out a Blackbeard from the looks of it. Sorry about that. Looks to be pulling out a Blackbeard. And, I like the Blackbeard call. They want to, be protective in the face while also being able to take a couple extra shots, doing some more damage. And the Sledge being traded out for Thatcher. Do they know they're downstairs? I think they do, but still gonna have to bring the Ace and the Therm to be able to get hatches and possibly dirt if they decide to push it. The Mira gonna be played downstairs. Doesn't seem to look like gonna have any mirrors up top. But we do have the Fenrir on board. Those fear toxic canisters is what I like to call them, like Scarecrow, basically. They show you your worst fear. And we're seeing it be played downstairs, as well as the Valk for this extra intel. Night Loki almost being able to hold it, just losing simple one-on-ones in the end against Pingu. Pingu slowing it down, winning their round. And I feel like they can do this. And oh! The actual peek outside gets one, making it a 5v4. Not even 20 seconds into the round. Actually, I think he got that kill on 20 seconds. That is a Nomad gone. The flank watch is decapitated. No more for him. Now, as we continue on, the Mira holding the main stairs, seeing if they could get someone on this early pick as well. Also one holding dirt. You know, also we have the Valkyrie looking on these cameras for the possible Nitro being able to pick off one. And actually, speaking of Nitros, we have 2 on board. One from the Valkyrie, one from the Mira, and the Valkyrie doesn't seem to land hers. Only one left remaining, and the first call by LOKI coming out. And we just hit a minute into this round. Wow. A little bit of intenseness. One peek out from LOKI. Got the kill onto the Nomad. That's the flank watch gone. You know, that was very good plays by them. They rotated back down in the site. And now they're going to play the timer. And I think that's a really good call by them. And then now being able to possibly open up this hatch. And they are opening up the kitchen hatch. Getting these angles in, but it seems like LOKI is kind of expecting this. Now being able to open Moto as well. This Mira might have her Nitro being ready to get tossed and actually going to back up on this and play the longer angles. Still has that Nitro in pocket for later use. A minute 20 left on the clock. Some canisters being thrown out by Muzi, but it seems to be caught by an ADS. We're down to a minute left in the round. Nobody else is taking any damage. And the pre-fire is coming out as I say that. A trade instantly coming out. LOKI going to be able to get these cams and extra intel before the round ends with a minute remaining. Going to be able to stick these Nomads and the steadying on these cameras. Get the extra intel, get the work. They have 50 seconds left. Can PINGU make this happen? You know, I told about playing slower and they're making it happen. Oh, and the shot's coming out, ringing out, just missing by a little bit. It's still a 4v3 in the favor of LOKI. They have 40 seconds left. Can they make this happen? The Mira still up, being able to play in blue and possibly extend if they need to. Can they make this happen? It seems like the push is going to come from the kitchen hatch and possibly main stairs. 30 seconds left. The second call ringing out. It seems like their push is about to come, and it seems like we're getting stuns. One's getting ready to drop. The buck dropping seems to be able to land and doesn't go for an instant plant. One be able to sneak in and shoots the buck, and I think that is Diffuser down in a double coming out. Trades making it 3v1, a 2v1, and a Nitro from the Mira saved at the last minute being used to win the round down by LOKI. Wow, amazing round, amazing job wasting time. You know, they played it to their strengths. They played it to the Miras, and they won. You know, the Izami also coming out in favor. Good job by them. And as we head on to the next round, we are seeing another gym. Gym, they lost. Let's see if they can get a redemption round, possibly take it back, and we will see what happens.
Attackers need to locate and defuse as many bombs
And
as they can.
as we look at the kills right now on LOKI, Cyani and Leo carrying the reins for their team, sitting at a 7-4, 7-4, and 1 on both of them, and kind of a little bit of an even spread on PINGU. You know, that's kind of what happened yesterday for PINGU. They had kind of this even spread, and they were really discussing what to do, holding this trade out right now. But LOKI, if they can take this next round, they may be able to break away. And I think if they are able to break away, PINGU possibly calls this timeout, so that way they can discuss how to stop LOKI and, you know, slow them down. You know, I like the round if they're losing by 2. I like that timeout. That timeout slows their momentum down so much, and it gives them time to comprehend what they're losing to in this 45 seconds of the timeout. But as we head into the round, pulling out the Izami and the Frost again, also the Wamai, the Malusi, and the Bandit. And looks like we're going to be able to go for some impact tricks on the CC wall instead of Bandit tricking this time.
Heyo.
Welcome back, Mr. Glitter, trying to finally solve those tech issues. I think they are resolved.
Hopefully, we'll see. We're in this fight together here. So, man, what did I miss? LOKI up 3-2. It's the last round of the half here?
Yes, round 4, they lost Jim. That was last round, you know. And round 5, they just won. They won the basement, and it was a good pickup by them. I'm thinking LOKI, if they pick it up here, I'm thinking PINGU calls the timeout. And, you know, CC wall is being breached open. So Knight might be in a little bit of a dispel here. That was an early breach, you know, they might have not been expected for it. And actually looks like it could be going along to their plans, going for this perfect rotate into 3 people, saying, come and get me. And Blazy picking up the headshot on a solo roast, making it a 5v4. And the Thatcher gone immediately, not able to dispel any of that extra stuff. And the shots coming out, being able to trick this drone into their play. And the pre-fire is coming out now. It doesn't seem to be able to landing instantly. Take it away, Glitter.
Yeah, huge. Body bounce tipped in favor of Knight Loki here, opening up the
Oh,
construction
no.
to get the kill onto the Azami, but it is going to get the trade out. It's now sitting in a 4v3 situation as Ace and Thatcher off the board for this attacking team here. It's the last minute and 20 here of the first half here on map number 1, game number 1, and it looked like it might be coming up all defense here.
And health right now, looking in the side of Knight as they have a person a little bit down. Oh, this Malusi coming in clutch, stopping a nade from being tossed by the Ayana. We still have 2 on the board. And as I say that, prepping another one, seems to throw it. Does it land? And it doesn't seem to make any contact. Oh, and the shot from Yang ripping off the head, making a trade. And a second one coming out from the third, making it a 2v3 with 45 seconds left on this round. PINGU playing absolutely to the intel, getting their plays. They can make it happen. The pre-fire is coming out on this person inside sight now. And a little bit more shots, doing a little bit of more damage. Doesn't seem to be able to claim the kill though, or get the down. Can they make this happen, PINGU? I want to see it. I want to see the 2 wins in a row. And the shots coming out. Blazy taking a little bit of damage. The stun's getting caught by the Midas. Still stunning the Malusi. And the Malusi taking a little bit of damage. The Candela's coming out in the 15 seconds. Blazy picking up a headshot. And an instant trade making it a 1v2. All that's left is Blazy himself with 10 seconds. Diffuser is going down. And he gets traded out by the Yang. Blazy losing his life. And PINGU picking up another round. Holy...
Yeah, no kidding. I think holy is the word there. It was a attacker-sided slaughterhouse as they pushed in to claim round number 3 and take us into that even scoreline on the 3-3 split. That means both teams firing on all cylinders here and each finding a way to adapt. Boy, there was just a ton of util in the last second of that round. And, of course, that's why the scoreline even up.
Yes, absolutely. And as we go back into this even split, you know, PINGU getting these calls to make these exchanges, make this intel game theirs. And, you know, it's even right now. And they're doing good by it. Now, as we go on to their defensive rounds, going to be starting off downstairs in the basement. Getting some standard head holes and feet holes set up. Pulling out the mirror as well as the Azami and the Valkyrie, bringing 3 out of the 5 all-star operators. Pulling out the Aruni, also these gates. You know, we're finally going to see the Aruni. I like the Aruni play here. It's going to be able to slow them down, make them waste some stuns or some use of intel, some use of communication they have with their team. And I think it's going to be very well. As we look at the side of Knight Loki, going to pull out the Ace, the Flores. Nice to see on the end here. Flores, if you don't know, if you're new to Siege, going to be able to walk like a normal drone, and I said walk for a reason, because you're going to be able to use the drone, and you're going to be able to actually explode the drone, getting rid of some ADSs, some barbed wire, some shields, things like that, or these Azami barriers. So, also pulling out the Grim, as we talked about earlier, going to be able to get for this quick push and already have these drones inside sight. And already going to be able to use these can openers or these hard breach charges for the hatches. Down to a minute already in the clock and using a Flores drone, as I just explained, to blow up a bulletproof camera. And, you know, Caster's cursing the droning at this point. It's happening. And as we push into, we see a little bit of horizontal straight up play from PINGU. You know, that's what we saw last game yesterday. They played this horizontal play really well, and they wasted this time up top. You know, they rotated essentially when they needed, but this time they're playing completely down, not letting Knight Loki pick off any damage, you know, saying come to us, we are going to believe in our strat and we're ready for you. And we're going to see it happen as they're finally opening the barricade onto Oil and going to be able to draw out this Jaeger, and the Jaeger taking actually a little bit of damage in this. You know, PINGU, I said it yesterday as well, I'm going to say it again, wasting a very good time. Down to a minute 20 left in the round, and they've only taken a little bit of damage. Each side still, though, has 5 and 5 alive, so it might backfire on them in this late game round, but we will see what happens when the exchange comes out. Getting the hatches open now, the ace able to use 2 charges on it. And it looks like we're also getting a push down this main stairs. Some nades coming out. Doesn't seem to be able to take any damage off the Mira, though. Doesn't seem to get the Mira. This Mira still able to be up. And a second nade coming out. Possibly going to be able to get it. And he might be able to get a little bit of damage and doesn't. The stun's coming out, though. Trying to get off this Mira. And the push seems to be coming. And the trades coming out. Not trades. It looks like PINGU is ripping apart Night Loki. And it is a 4v1. The only body to die is Pincho. And with that, Zitch making a nitro get of the Mira. The nitro coming out, making them win their first defensive side. Wow. PINGU Esports, good job. Good job on the basement hold. Honestly, it was good work, you know. They believed in the strat. They made him come to them. They waited. They let those stuns come in. The Mira holding that angle, pushing back from the nades, coming back to win the round with a nitro. Amazing play by them. Now they're going on to gym bedroom for their next round.
Attackers need to locate and defuse bombs.
Pulling out the Azami again, as well as the Mira. Also the castle, you know, a standard setup for a gym bedroom. Also the Miyu and the Womai. Now I'm wondering if we're going to be able to get the castle barricade on the bathroom doorway. Not the double doorway, but the doorway leading into gym itself. Because usually we have a bandit tricker play there, but there's going to be no bandit on the board. We're actually going to play a mute, so I don't think they're going to do that. Because it looks like they're extending into logistics through construction and into cash. You know, it's a standard setup, and I like the setup, honestly. Well, I think it's going to be very crucial for them to hold these angles, especially against Night Loki, and I think it's going to work out for them.
Attackers must locate and defuse
Well,
bombs.
take the second verse, same as the first. Should I try it again?
Hopefully we get you back in here with no tech issues this time. But as we proceed in this next round, Glitter, I don't know if you were able to see any of that, but, you know, we had some crazy trades, you know. PINGU picking themselves back up like yesterday, and I think it's going to be very exciting.
Yeah, it's a big AO, let's go. As we're taking a look at this defense, you talked about it. It's the castle on the board, going to be in support of the Mira as well. I mean, huge plays. Intel deny of the mute. I think this is a pretty good setup here. And look at this Womai.
He is
ready to
saying,
be
"Come
aggressive."
for me, I am ready." And, you know, honestly, and they seem to be still holding it. Honestly, look, they finally one wall was just be able to blown open. The EMP's now being able to help them. Let's see if now they're gonna be able to make use for it. This Womai still sitting in cash, being able to hold, but doesn't be able to make the trade. Blazy coming in and ripping him apart, making it a 5v4 with a minute 50 left on the clock. And then Muzi picking up a trade.
Yeah, doing a great job of holding on to this construction, really not allowing them to get in this extended area. It's going to be Castle taking a bunch of damage, but Azami ripped off the board now. His body balance is tipped in favor of Night Loki here. Going to get some opening up on to the hatch, baby. It's the swing off highway, finds another, and now attacking team feeling real good. Things out, now puts us into a 4v1, all on the shoulders of Z. Trying to keep this round together and keep the score line. Finds the head, but it is going to be traded out as Lion's going to find that final dome piece. Sheesh.
Wow. Honestly, good play by them. You know, I feel like PINGU kind of just got lost themselves. Got way too aggressive with the peaks. Forgot about highway completely and lost 2 bodies to there after throwing one person out because his window got open. You know, that Mira turned around, tried to instantly take that fight, and lost the gunfight. Now, Night Loki coming back up, making an even split again. I think, Glitter, we're going to go back to overtime again.
Let's go. Hopefully, as casters, we want to see the best of the best take each other on. And you know what that means? Double overtime 1v1 round clutchers, baby. That's when both teams are firing on all cylinders, and I love it. We're looking at an even scoreline yet again, and we're seeing the Mira being brought back out. We're seeing the castle being utilized here again. They're saying, you know what? Second verse, same as the first. We know that we can hold that. We had a few silly mistakes, and it cost us the round. It was the early pick. that really set the ball into motion there for this attacking team, and they're going to try to bring on that same. It's 6 sets of nades in the hands of this attacking team with the 6 picks ringing out. Holy.
So, for this cash hold, what I personally like to do, I feel like if you extend into the red, you know, like normal people do, put a shield there, possibly if you'd like to. I feel like if you just hold the cash, it limits yourself. Because on top of that, you have to think about the rafters, you have to think about the window onto highway. You're losing a little bit too much control, especially for playing over there. And I feel like that's what got PINGU caught up. You know, they lost that body because he was getting pushed from 2, essentially 3 ways.
Yeah, absolutely. So here we go. We're getting into it. Already getting a ton of real estate up top here. Just essentially able to push in for free. It's going back to that construction hold. Oh, look at that. Getting ready to take on that gunfight on the top of red. They didn't opt for the deployable, but they still want to take those gunfights. Huge plays by the defense. Let's see if they're able to capitalize on it.
Pre-fires coming out. We're down to Musi getting taken out by Cyane. Holy, a minute 45 left on the clock. It's down to a 5v4. Right now, bodies in favor of Night Loki, and air jabs coming out, trying to cut off these rotates for them as well. The Kiba barriers are also coming out, trying to cut off these rotates. Stuns coming out, nades coming out, trying to pick off people. Cyane taking a little bit of damage. Blazy ripping the head off of Pincho, making it a 5v3. Cyane getting instantly trade out though, making it a 4v3 with a minute 20 remaining. And JRD also picking up a frag, making it a 4v2. Night Loki looking to pick up this round. And a trade though from Red Canning saying, no way, Jose, making it a 3v2. The Nitro ripping out, and he picks up the frag. And a nade from below, making it 2v1. All on the shoulders of Zich with 1 health remaining, essentially. Can he do it? He has a minute. Both these players are at full health on the attack. I think he might be able to pick this up. I feel like if he believes himself, if he has the calls, the intel, PINGU did it yesterday. Can we see it happen? Can he make the breakaway? Seems to be going for this head angle, going for the rotate into Logi. Here's the shots. Here's the pre-fires. Going for this angle. Oh, and rips the head off of 1. Pulls out the shotgun. Can he get the second? Can he make it happen? Going for the rotate. Pulling back a little bit. Oh, and he goes for the rotate. And no! Night Loki going to be able to take round number 9. Holy.
Yeah, no kidding. I think that's going to be the word of the day here between these two teams. Holy, all these players playing absolutely saint-like. Just getting blessed. And that was incredible. It was a low health versus full health. And unfortunately, in that scenario, didn't play out in the favor of Mute. That's attacking team going up on the scoreline here. And Z now putting themselves close to match point.
Holy, the trades. Part of me thought I was gonna pass out. That was intense. we went from a very slow point to we hit 130 and we are going non-stop trades and essentially coming back. And you know, it happened. And I just want to say once again, right now, the Iona, or actually the Ying of Sleo and Cyane taking this team, holding out for their team. You know, grabbing the reins of their team, saying, we got this, let's go. And on the PINGU side, we have a little bit of a more even suggestion. We have Red Cannon sitting at 11, we have Zich sitting at 9, and we have Pincho sitting at 8. And you know, it's a good trade against them. That's how they are. Pincho, you know, making decisions. I don't know who the IGL over there is still, but once again, I'm going to say it again because I love saying it. You know, good calls by them. They are making these executes to happen and get these comebacks.
I just also would like to point out and huge shout out the free cam work that we're seeing here is just absolutely amazing. I love the addition of the free cam, and in the hands of somebody that knows how to use it, that's a big AO. Let's go.
Yes, absolutely. And the way he's moving, like, you know, it's a cinematic, you know, reveal. It's amazing. I love the way it's happening.
S tier. So let's talk about this defense. PINGU needed to pull one together to keep Night Loki off of their match point scenario. Going to see the intel of the Valkyrie come out. We have seen the C4s just be absolutely devastating all map. I expect this Church Arsenal hold to be no different. It's going to be Buck getting ready to get that vertical, and Jaeger, the first to be ripped off the board now as the body bounce tips in favor of Night Loki yet again.
I mean, essentially, they don't need Jaeger, you know? He put down his ADSs, he put down his bulletproof if he
Hot
has it.
take.
Well, hear me out, hear me out. He put down his bulletproof. If Jaeger is the first body to go, you know, that's okay because he put down his util. His util was essentially more important than him. And as I say that, though, PINGU gonna get traded out from JDR into a 5v3.
Yeah, that's a tough break getting the Azami, the architect, off the board. Still got a really strong hold here on the main stair. Oh, takes a bunch of damage as he opens up his own. Oh, it was the Selma charge coming out. He had to get it anyways. Tried to take advantage of some quick early play. Still able to preserve his life, however, in this 5v3. But it's the vertical getting set up. Grim going to be the next to fall on the bird, the first casualty of Night Loki here in round number 10. Still holding on to that man advantage at the 4. And as I say it, equalized. Headshot rings out and claims the life of Nomad, now taking us into a 3v2. It's the Jackal. He's sending in. He knows he's got to take this fight on this church wall, and unfortunately, Yowza is going to be the buck to fall next as body bounce tips in favor of Pingu. You talked about him coming back. Well, this is an ideal win condition for that. The trade comes out, now putting us into a 2v2. 45 seconds left on the board, and it all comes down to the Warden. He's got the C4. No joy on it, though. It is going to fall. Another defender putting us into a 2v1. 38 seconds left on the board, and Diffuser's gonna start to go down. Ace takes it to 50, to 20, to 75. He's gonna go ahead and stick this bad boy, and then there's the pre-fire, takes it! Warden with the huge heads-up play, but it is gonna be traded out. Attacker's gonna win that, and that's gonna put Night Loki on that match point.
Can I just say, when you called Night Loki losing their first player, you said lost their first player on the bird. And I have to call that out because I tried so hard not to laugh over you because you went, he's the first player out on the bird. And I was like, huh? And I was like, I wonder if somebody else picked this up because I know I'm not going crazy. And we're actually going to have a tactical timeout or a pause.
Let's go. Oh, a tech issue. You hate to see it. Well, so here's the story thus far. If you're just now joining us, and I said bored, I just said it with a southern accent on accident. Now sitting 6-4. If you're just joining us, this is the best of one. We are in the quals here for Revival League. Both of these teams having 2 wins apiece here. So this is a battle of the ego. This is for all of the bragging rights, so to say. And it's a best of 1. So, you know, it's quite different than a 3, than a 5, because there's no real chance to suss out how that enemy team is playing. It's adaptability on the fly. And at this moment, Night Loki put themselves up on match point. Just have to find one. Pingu has to be absolutely perfect for 2 rounds to take this into OT and have a shot at bringing this map back.
Absolutely. And no team using their timeout as well. So, you know, maybe we'll see it during an overtime if Pingu picks this back up and, you know, doesn't get their back against the wall. But as we start the round now, back from the technical timeout, we are getting into the round. Match point. Pingu busting out a Goyo this time. Actually,
Technical, not tactical.
Technical, sorry. And, you know, I like the Goyo call here. You know, it's an op they haven't seen, and I think it's going to change Night Loki's perspective on how they want to push into the church wall.
Yeah, it really plays into that slow down city. You've got the support of the Valkyrie and that intel. Going to be able to potentially use those Goyos for some late round stoppage. I mean, they last so incredibly long. And then, of course, Mira back on the board, going to do her best to hold on to that blue, to hold on to that west main push as well. But we're going to still see on the attacking side of it, Ace going to be on the board. It's going to be a great op to help be utilized against the Mirror, as there's no bridge now. There's no mute, there's no bandit, no Cade to be able to be had here to help support that Mirror. And look at this, Jackal already just getting aggressive with Grim into strip and pushing in, trying to get that vertical hold like early. A ton of real estate being taken by this attacking team very early.
Absolutely. I think they realized all the defenders were downstairs again, you know, going for this horizontal hold, and they're just pushing to the limit. You know, they want to open these hatches. They want to get themselves set up for this plant, and they're going to make it happen regardless if Pingu's expecting it or not.
I would have loved to see the Ram being brought out here, especially on the church hold, able to open up all of that real estate. But Buck's great, too, of course. He brings those can openers. Going to need them for those hatches, as it takes 2 Selma charges to open up a barricaded hatch.
Absolutely. And I like this mirror hold. We were looking at it in the free cam earlier while you were talking, and once again, great free work cam. And we were seeing how he's holding. We have one person looking at blue, holding his back, and then we have the person in blue looking towards the main stairs. And I think it's very, very good. And I think we're going to see it used here in this push regardless.
Yep, you're probably right on that one. Warden, of course, being brought out as well. He's going to get hurt, right? He's going to be losing that 1.5. Does he lose his balance pick status there? Oh, look at that. The Goyo's already bringing fire to the board. Sheesh.
And all this intel and chaos being used, they're using up all their intel. I think PINGU has them right where they want them. We have a minute left on the clock. They're using their Grims. They're using everything. They don't have the diffuser down. We still have 2 nitros in pocket and 1 more impact. And as I say that, Moosey's going to use his impact. So we still have a nitro from Pincho and from Zich.
Yeah, but we're hitting in, as Velocity says, to the frag zone, baby. 50 seconds left on the board. It's a 5v5, so hold on to your hats, because Night Loki trying to put this one away. PINGU trying to stay in it. We're going to see the first contest starting to ring out. Z, get ready to just take us away.
We got 35 seconds left on the clock. 5v5. No damage has been taken yet, but we hear the smokes. The trade's ringing out. 1 headshot's going to be ripped out of the Blazy, and then another, and then the trade's coming out, making it 3v2 20 seconds. Diffuser is possibly going to be going down. Shots getting taken out. 1 getting trade out, making it 3v1 on the side of Night Loki. And as I say that, JRD taking the match. Wow. Night Loki, seeming to be unable to break away from this tie, grabbed the reins and took it for the win.
Yeah, huge round by the attacking team. They knew that they needed to get really aggressive really early on into that round, and it played out into their favor. Just absolutely huge.
Wow, amazing gameplay, and as we really sit and think about it, we think about what went wrong. Last time we seen PINGU play, they played the comeback game respectfully, wonderfully. This time, they were slacking on some areas. They missed some droning, they missed some things that were happening, and it didn't seem to be going well for them. So, I feel like they could have done a little bit better in the way that they had their intel.
Yeah, absolutely. And unfortunately, it was Night Loki really just setting themselves up, getting the specific operators in their places. We call it aces in their places, right? Put them in the spot, get ready to take the trade. And when that initial push happens, it's the collapse at that point. And they just did a masterclass in the end round collapse. Really caught them on the back foot and were able to capitalize. That's a Night Loki dub there on this best of 1.
Absolutely. And the score being 7-4. Wow. I just want to say thank you again personally for the Revival League having me cast here. It has been amazing. Mr. Glitter, thank you for always casting with me. Once again, go check us out at Siege Double Shot. I'm your boy Zatelica.
I am the Reverend Whiskey Glitter. We'll be back for the next one.
Absolutely.